Hi, I'm Betty Meyer. I'm the coordinator of the annual When Mental Illness Hits Home conference coming up on August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville, Illinois. This conference is open to mental health professionals, family members, and friends who journey with people struggling with mental illness. The title of this year's conference is Resiliency, Bouncing Forward. We will help attendees discover new strategies for those in the recovery process. Our morning keynote presenter, Dr. Gary Behrman, is highly qualified to lead this discussion. He has a PhD and is a licensed clinical social worker. His expertise in trauma recovery was called upon to help after the 9/11 attacks in New York City. He was also asked to help at the Ferguson-Florissant School District after the unrest following the Michael Brown shooting in 2016. Here's a bit more of what you can expect to hear from Dr. Behrman himself.
My very first job was working on a cancer unit at a major hospital with persons living with leukemia and lymphomas, called a bone marrow transplant unit. And so many traumatic deaths, young people, college, newlyweds, mothers, fathers, so it was a lot of crisis on the unit. And I became very interested in wanting to research how do people get through a crisis and what are the variables, what are the characteristics that need to be present both internally and externally for someone, what I call transforming their life following a tragedy. So I went and applied to New York and was accepted into the PhD program at the State University of New York in 2001. 10 days after I arrived, 9/11 happened, and the dean at the School of Social Work there knew my interests, so I spent my first semester at Ground Zero doing crisis intervention work for 3 months. Subsequently, a professor took me under his arm and we began publishing my crisis intervention model, which now appears in several textbooks and peer-reviewed journals. I would invite people, adults of all ages and backgrounds, both homemakers, physicians, social workers, counselors, pastors, people working with youth, people working in education. So I will be casting a wide net for the audience. So I will not be speaking to only professionals who are doing crisis work, but I think many families who have experienced an intense loss, a tragedy in their life through cancer, car accident, widows, widowers, people who have experienced trauma in their life, who are interested in gaining some insight and some skills in how to get through a crisis. So it'll be a wide net, so don't be intimidated if you're not a professional working in the healthcare arena. This will be open to all adults who are interested in how do I get through a crisis. Leaving this seminar, people will be looking at how to get through a crisis in a holistic way, physically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. So I'll be providing both knowledge and insights with a little bit of skills and a lot of resources. A lot of resources will be provided that people can use after the seminar. Crisis that traumatize us does not necessarily have to destroy us. And I believe that that's the basic Christian message of the cross, the trauma of the tragedy of the cross, and in Easter resurrection. I always say to people, keep reading. Good Friday is not the end of the story. Just keep reading. And nor is Easter the end of the story, because having this new life experience following trauma, there will be waves of remorse, floundering, confusion. And it's not until Pentecost, symbolically 50 days later, that people have a language, have an experience of courage and strength to move on and carry on. So I think that the Paschal mystery of tragedy and death, new life and hope, followed by courage and strength and a new language, a new way of being in the world, is what this seminar will focus on. And so that people my intent is that people will leave with a sense of there is new life following trauma, and I will have a new sense of courage, a new experience of strength that I will be able to transform not only my own life, but the lives of others around me because of the tragedy in my life.
Please join us for the When Mental Illness Hits Home conference on August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville, Illinois. Lunch will be included. You can register online at snows.org/help or call 618-394-6281 or email us at programs@snows.org.